Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Want to seek the blessings of Radha Madhava, Radha Shyam Sundar Krishna, Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gaunitai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So yesterday we discussed about the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord, which manifests because of the Lord. The Lord is very bright, very effulgent. So his effulgence is the Brahma Jyoti. And when a soul wants to become God, wants to merge with God, then they merge with that Brahma Jyoti, which is perhaps not a great place to be, because the soul is very active, and in the Brahma Jyoti there is no activity. So what divides the material world from the spiritual world is this Viraja river, the Viraja river. And the Viraja river is here, When the Lord wants to create the material world, Sankarshan expands as Karana Dakshai Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So we're quite familiar with this chart now. From Krishna comes Balaram, then the first Chaturvyu, then Narayan comes from Sankarshan, then the second Chaturvyu, and then from the second Sankarshan we have Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is the Vishnu who lies on the casual ocean. And when he breathes out, millions of universes come out of the pores of his skin. Millions of universes. So he's situated here. There he is. Literally, when he breathes out, universes come out of his skin. From his perspiration springs forth the vast expanse of water known as the casual or Karana ocean. This Karana is also known as Viraja river, and is the border between the spiritual and material worlds. So there you go. This is the border. Mahavishnu lies on this ocean, which is spiritual, in Yoga Nidra, transcendental slumber, with Rama Devi, his eternal consort. There's Rama Devi there. As he breathes out from the pores of his body, countless universes which float on the casual ocean emanate. When he breathes in, the universes go back into his body. In his body resides trillions of jivas who were in the material world previously with unlimited desires. So when the universes are all destroyed, again back into the body of the Lord, the jivas are also in the body of the Lord, dormant, waiting to come out. Mahavishnu desired Ichha Shakti to liberate these souls or allow them to continue with their trying to fulfill their desires. He glances towards Ramadevi, whose shadow becomes Maya or Prakriti. Prakriti, material nature, is eternal. When non-manifested and in a subtle form, it is known as the Pradhan, which is like the raw, unassembled material substance. The basic elements for creation are this Pradhan, and by his glance, the Kala Shakti, time starts, and Jiva, the souls, are transferred to the universes with their respective karmas. Nothing is lost. Everything is maintained. When Prakriti manifests, it turns into Maha Tattva, and thus all material elements become manifest. By the glance of Mahavishnu, the jivas come out of his body, and Ramadevi carries the function of the glance, which is Durga Maya. So she carries the jivas to Durga Maya. And Durga Maya is effectively an expansion of Ramadevi. But she is in touch with this world. Ramadevi has nothing to do with this world. Mahavishnu has nothing to do, does not touch this world. When he wants to touch, his glance becomes the the touch, and his glance becomes Shiva, basically. So when Mahavishnu wants to interact in this world, he becomes Shiva. Brahmadevi's glance is effulgent and creates a halo, aura, which is the form of Shambhu. Brahmadevi hands over the jivas and Kala Shakti to Shambhu. Shambhu is none different from Shiva. At this point, he is still Vishnu Tattva. So Shiva is still Vishnu Tattva at this point because he has not necessarily interacted with material nature. Shambhu carries the jiva into Pradhan, which immediately changes to Mahad Tattva. Shambhu impregnates Maya and turns into Shiva Tattva. He is no longer Vishnu Tattva, nor is he jiva. This is a little technical, but it's really quite interesting. Shiva's planet is half in the spiritual world, Sadashivalok, and the lower half is in the material world, Mahakal Dham. This planet is in the northeast, although it's shown in the south in the Gokul. So it's shown here, but actually it's here. This is Ishan, who is none different from Sadashiva. Ishan is Lord Shiva, Vishnu Tattva. And then when he's in touch with this world, it becomes, half at least becomes situated in the material world. The other half remains in the spiritual world. Jivas who worship Shiva as Vaishnav, if they're worshipping Lord Shiva as the greatest Vaishnav, and who know Vishnu as supreme, can go to Sadashiva Lok in the spiritual world, because there is Shiva, but Shiva as the greatest Vaishnav. Of course, Sadashiva is Vishnu Tattva himself. So those who worship Shiva for material gains won't come even to Mahal Kal Dham. The purest of them may reach the Pradhan or Kailash. So this Mahakal Dham is again for very purified personalities. Even though it's situated in the material world, it is still belonging to Lord Shiva. Why is Shiva not equal to Vishnu? Because Shiva is in touch with Maya. It's not that he is in Maya. It's just that he's in touch with Maya. And that touch makes him Shiva, different from Vishnu, although they are one and the same. Shiva Tattva is difficult to understand as he has many features. Vishnu Tattva in Vaikuntha, Shiva Tattva in charge of Maya. So Shiva Tattva has this Vishnu aspect to him when he is not in touch with this world. He's also regarded, so his Vishnu Tattva is Shiva Tattva in charge of Maya. He's also a Vaishnav. Also, he sometimes gets bewildered only by Vishnu, especially in his incarnation as Mohini Murti. So that's a bit of an idea of the process of creation. It's a little complex. Any questions, any comments? It's a little bit hard to completely grasp it. But if we have a general idea, it's good. So we've talked about in this session the Viraj River to a degree, small degree, and then we've talked about the appearance effectively of Lord Shiva, how he manifests. So I just want to see what's next. Material world. Coverings of the universe. So what we will continue tomorrow is looking at not the material universe, but looking at the coverings. There are 7 coverings of the universe, which are very hard to penetrate because each one is 10 times bigger than the previous. So this one covering here, Earth, is 10 times bigger than the whole universe. 10 times bigger than that, earth is water, and so on. So the coverings are huge. The universe is huge. So, unless there's any, Surinder, any comments?
Yes, so Hare Krishna, Nitai Gaur Haribol. It's very interesting, and uh, it's you're quite right. It's sometimes very complex and difficult to understand Shiva Tattva.
Mm,
But with reference to Brahma Samhita, we
mm,
can get a glimpse, as the verse goes,
mm,
Kshiram yatha dadhi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tata pritagasti heto yasam bhutam api tata samupayati karyad govindamari purusham tamaham vajami. As milk becomes transformed into yogurt by reacting with an added agent, yet yogurt is not separate from its origin, milk. Similarly, for accomplishing a particular task, he who assumes the nature of Sambhu, that primeval Lord Govinda, do I worship. Yes, in this way, a little glimpse, and then we can understand.
mm,
And we in Navadvip Dham, at the Koladvip, where our Mula temple is situated in Koladvip, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. We have the Shiva temple
mm,
as the guardian of the Dham.
mm,
And every morning, I think it's about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, they start the Aarti of Lord Shiva. So I've joined when I was in Navadvip. I
mm.
attended the Aarti early morning. Yeah, it's very cold. And then, yes, and we do parikram of the Shivlingam in the Shiva
Mm,
temple. And
mm,
we glorify Lord Shiva with this bhajan. O he Vaishnava Thakura
mm,
Doyara Sagara Edase Koruna Puri. This is very, very sweet and interesting and transcendental. Yes,
mm.
Prabhupada. I go Haribol. Thank you very much.
And that's different from the other temple, which is half Lord Shiva and half Vishnu. That's also there in Navadvip Mayapur, but that's different temple, I think.
Um,
You,
like,
it's half is Shiva and the
uh-huh.
other half is Vishnu. It's a fascinating temple. That's in Navadvip. It's
Oh,
near
no.
Bhakti Vinod Thakur's place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, very.
I've not been to that place,
Oh,
but
okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah, in there is another one. In Mayapur, again, there is a Shiva temple there.
Hmm.
So when we go to like Prabhupada's temple in Mayapur, so when you're entering in that road, the start of the beginning of that the road itself, on the left hand side, there is Shiva temple.
Hmm.
So we go and offer our Dandavat Pranam to Lord Shiva and beg for his mercy to practice Shuddha Bhakti, etc. Like that. Yes.
Hmm. Very
Yeah.
good.
Hare
Thank
Krishna. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's stop there. Lord Shiva ki jai.